Bakula, and I want to ask you to imagine a world where you wake up one morning and you just have a gut feeling that something's bad. And you check your phone, everything seems normal until you notice that your friends have removed you off of things, that your group chats are gone, that it just seems to feel weird, but you don't know what you did. I recently had a friend come to me and say that she had this exact situation happen to her, that she didn't know what she did, but turns out someone spread a rumor about her, and without any reaching out to her, everyone believed the rumor, even though it was far from the truth. About 58% of kids have admitted something mean has been said to them on the internet, and 4 out of 10 say it's happened more than once. 53% admit having said something mean, and more than a third have admitted that it's happened more than once. This is according to CyberKids, Cyberbullying, and Cyberbalance in 2009. And I think that this is important to acknowledge that it happened so long ago, but social media and the online culture is so much more accessible now, and I think that those numbers will have significantly increased. The bullying epidemic has become an online issue for our youth, and it's providing a difficult culture for their mental health. I'm going to explain this by showing some different societal pressures and factors surrounding this generation's bullying issues. I think that it's important to acknowledge that our mental health in our youth is beginning to soar. It's becoming a real issue and a common factor, and a lot of it is due to bullying, whether that's in-person bullying, online bullying, or just any sort of mental psychology issues in the young kids from person to person. From Teen Risk, a practitioner guide to screening, assessment, and management, written in 2013. Despite the fact that it is very difficult to know if anyone might attempt harm on themselves, regular evaluations can help know if there is any elevated risk in behavior. And I do think that with these problems of mental health being so prominent in our youth, we need to check regular balances, look at social media, get an understanding of what's happening to our kids at school, church even, just anywhere. Because this isn't just something that will happen online, it could happen right under our noses. According to Young People in Social Media, Contemporary Children's Digital Culture, social media is a creative outlet for many youths, and truthfully, it's so accessible on our phones. Our parents give us one most likely when we go to school for the first time alone, I personally got one when my sibling left elementary school, which I was in like 3rd grade. I think it's very important to know what we are doing on our phones, not to necessarily prevent it from being used in any sort of way, more so just to be aware at what our kids are getting into. Not all bullying happens on social media, however, a lot of the times it will be. According to Social Media and Mental Health in Schools, written in 2018, many people with young mental health needs will turn to social media for support, which that's because they don't want to open up to someone close to us or feel embarrassed almost. That's why you can talk to a psychologist, a therapist, friends, social media support groups even. According to the Internet and Social Life in 2014, the differences in cyberbullies such as the feeling of anonymity and being vulnerable and being caught, having good relationships with teachers and friends, and the lack of emotional responses and decreased guilt should be considered. A lot of people that are doing the bullying won't get caught for a while because they're just everyone's favorite, or they don't seem like they could be doing anything wrong, but realistically they might be doing something to harm people just with no one knowing. Another thing is that kids tend to get angry sometimes. Everybody tends to get angry, not just children. But sometimes we don't know how to deal with those emotions, and instead they will turn to someone and put them down rather than deal with their own issues and themselves. According to Cyberbullying, Cyberbalance, these routine activities and theory and the antisocial media of our youth, The risk of being cyberbullied increases proportionally with how much time you've spent online. And being online is more prominent nowadays. There's video games, there's classes, there's school, there's Zoom meetings, there's all ways to talk to our friends and our family, and a lot of that is on video games. And video games go overlooked, where it's just a silly little game and there's nothing that can be done about it except for with the game developers that ban their account or something similar. Something that is very prominent is hating on women in video games as well. That just because a woman is there, sometimes people don't like it and they say something. And it's not just strictly men to women to women as well, and women to men. Everybody is involved in any sort of way, and it's not just strictly one stereotype that is responsible. According to School Bullying, New Theories and Context in 2014, researchers have adopted a definition of bullying as a form of individual aggression, and I think with video games it makes a lot of sense because they could be angry at the game or their performance or something at school, and this is how they're getting their anger out. And I think that there's no way for us to control this, but that's just how it seems to happen. I think there needs to be controlling from how often we spend online and what we can do to protect other people. If you see something, say something.